The city was still asleep. Not for long. Dawn cracked the sky, a thin line of orange over the gray towers. I was already in position, high up, a nest made of steel and glass. The wind whipped around the ledge, cold and sharp. It tried to push me to test my nerve. I didn't move. My rifle felt like an extension of my arm, cold metal against my cheek. Every piece of gear was checked, double-checked. My breath was steady, a slow rhythm in the quiet. This was my world, a world of patience, a world of precision, a world where you get one chance. You don't mess it up. Below me, the streets were empty veins. A few early trucks rumbled past, their headlights cutting through the gloom. I scanned everything. Rooftops, windows, alleyways. My eyes moved in a grid, a system I'd perfected over years of this work. You look for what's out of place. The city was a chessboard. I had to see every move before it was made. Preparation is everything. It's what keeps you alive when the world tries to kill you. You don't rely on luck. Luck is for amateurs. My heartbeat was a low drum. Thump, 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 calm, controlled. Panic is a luxury you can't afford in this game. It gets you a coffin. I adjusted the scope, the world snapping into sharp focus 1,000 yards away. The target's route was mapped in my head. He would appear in that plaza down there. He thought he was safe, surrounded by his own men. He didn't know about the ghost watching him from the clouds. I saw it. A flash, a tiny flicker of light from the rooftop opposite. It was gone in a heartbeat. An amateur would have missed it. But I'm no amateur. My blood ran cold. It was the sun glinting off a lens. Another scope, another rifle. I wasn't the only ghost on the rooftops today. There was someone else here. Same job? Different job? Maybe their target was me. The game had changed. This wasn't a simple extraction anymore. It was a duel. My focus shifted. I was no longer just the hunter. I was also the hunted. I slowly, carefully panned my scope towards the other building. My movements were measured in millimeters. Any sudden motion could give me away. There. I saw him. A dark shape against a water tower. He was good. Very good. He'd picked a solid position with good cover and a clear line of sight to the plaza. Now I had two problems. The target and the man who might be aiming at my head. Every calculation had to be redone. Wind speed, distance, bullet drop. And now a second shooter. The target's limo finally arrived. A sleek, black beast gliding to a stop by the fountain. The doors opened. Bodyguards first, then him. A man in an expensive suit looking arrogant and untouchable. He laughed with one of his men. He had no idea death was waiting for him, perched on a ledge 1,000 yards away. He stepped into the open. My crosshairs settled on his chest. My finger rested on the trigger. The world narrowed to that tiny circle in my scope. Everything else faded away. The noise of the city, the other sniper, the cold wind. It was now or never, but I hesitated, just for a split second. The other sniper, where was he aiming? At the target or at me? I had to make a choice. If I shoot, the other guy knows exactly where I am. If I don't, I fail the mission. And he might take the shot himself. It's a roll of the dice. But I don't play dice. I make the odds. I saw the other sniper shift, just a tiny movement. He was lining up his shot, on the target. I adjusted my aim, just a fraction higher, a riskier shot. But it would be faster, more decisive. I squeezed the trigger. There was no loud bang, just a cough from the suppressor. A whisper. The rifle bucked against my shoulder, a familiar and comforting kick. The bullet was on its way. A messenger carrying a final notice. The target dropped. No drama. He was standing 1 second and on the ground the next. Chaos erupted in the plaza below. Bodyguards shouting, scrambling, not knowing where the shot came from. I didn't watch. The moment the rifle fired, I was already moving. I had my answer. The other sniper fired a second after me, his bullet hitting the pavement where my target had been. Too slow. He was good, but I was better. Escape is an art form. You don't just run, you flow. I broke down the rifle in seconds. I stowed it in the custom-built backpack. Every piece had its place. I was on my feet, moving away from the ledge, before the first siren started to wail in the distance. No rushing. Rushing gets you noticed. I moved with purpose, like I belonged there. Through a maintenance door, down a flight of stairs. I stripped off the dark outer layer, plain shirt, jeans. The backpack was now just a normal bag. I put on a baseball cap, pulled it low. A different person now. A nobody. I walked out of a side exit, into the river of people on the street. The chaos from the plaza was spreading. People were looking up, pointing, confused. I just kept my head down and walked. Become one of them. Blend. I bought a coffee from a street vendor. My hand was perfectly steady. I took a sip. Hot. Grounded me in the moment. I was just another face in the crowd. Anonymous. Invisible. I walked 10 blocks, then descended into the subway. The train doors hissed shut. City lights blurred into streaks as we plunged into the tunnel. Gone. The mission was a success. The pay would be in my account by morning. But you never really relax. You never switch off. You just find a quiet place to wait for the next call. The next call, the next city, the next target. You're a ghost in the machine. Always moving, always watching, and always ready for what comes next. Because there's always a next.